Hey there guys, I'm AJ Valentine, and today I'll be showing you how to modify Payday the Heist and Payday 2. This will be the third tutorial, I believe. Let me just count. Yeah, third tutorial on modding. It will cover the retexturing of the models, the basically any solid object in the game. It'll have a texture over it. We're working on that today. Before we start, you will need to download either Photoshop or GIMP, graphical image something, I don't know, GIMP photo editing software. There are free trials online for Photoshop, or GIMP is free. And you will require the DDS plugin. It's the Direct Draw Surface plugin for the software that you decide to use. The plugins themselves are free, so don't worry about that. I will provide links, and that's easy, that's fine. To get started, firstly we need to navigate to what we want to edit, basically. I like to tell people when they're beginning to go with something easy. Go with the Alienware mask. It's completely white and smooth, and it's the easiest thing to work with. So find the Alienware mask, units, Payday 2, masks, MSK Alienware. You should already have everything extracted. If you don't, look back towards my first tutorial on how to extract and repack the bundles. So we'll take the MSK Alienware, copy it, make sure you copy because we still want to keep it within the extracted area. Move it to unfinished, and we'll do Alienware tutorial mod. And remember, as I said in the second tutorial, we want to keep a very nice clean workspace, so everything is organized, and we keep a directory called destinations.txt where we'll write everything down. So units/payday 2. Don't worry, you'll pick this up eventually. It will take time, but you'll get the hang of it. So they're off. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 files and 7 lines of MSK Alienware. Whew. That was a mouthful. Just let me catch my breath. Right, Alienware _df.texture. Texture, please. Fingers aren't working today. Now, the two we are focusing on is the DF, which I believe is diffused something or other. Okay, and the NM, which is normal map. Those are the main two we want for retexturing. So honestly, we could remove these lines and it would still work. But it's good practice to have the whole thing in, just in case. Let's say you've put a previous mod on, and then you want to put this one on. And you might have edited a model or an object somewhere and it doesn't work, it clashes, etc. So it's always a good idea have all of them in. So Alienware _nm.texture. I'll just do this, it's easier. Okay, now first thing you'll need to know about the textures, they are actually .dds files. There's nothing different about them. So with the textures, you can literally rename .dds, accept the file change, and it will just open in Photoshop magically. Let me catch my breath. Righto. So once we've got this open, we'll prepare to draw on it. I'm not the most artistically advanced, so I'm just going to scribble shit. But those of you who can, you'll make fucking masterpieces, which I'll be installing eventually and loving them. Nope, that's far too big. There we go. Where's this size? So I'm basically, for the tutorial's sake, I'm going to put my initials on the head. That's it. I will run through, actually, channels first of all. You'll see here there's an alpha layer, which is basically how the light comes in and reflects off of the mask. All the white areas of this mask are high reflective properties, and all the black areas are low reflective properties. If you want a mask to reflect well, you make it more white. Obviously this is more white, it will reflect quite a lot. A lot of people will have trouble if you don't save the alpha layer, then all your work will come out really, really shiny when you don't want it to. If this is the case, you've probably lost the alpha layer somewhere, and you just need to go back over it and find out what went wrong. So I've got the alpha layer there. I'm going to go back to the RGB, which is the top one, and keep that as it is. I want to save it. So save as alienware.dds. Is that in the right location? I believe it is. Yes, it is. So I'll save that, replace, and as you can see it asks me which kind of save. You don't want the no alpha, because that will again remove the alpha. I tend to go for explicit alpha. That gives a nice something. I don't know. Secondly, the normal map. That is basically the light reflective texture, if that makes sense. You can change the directionality of the light reflection with this, and it makes the mask appear to have depth when it doesn't. You will see when I go into game with this, but again you can just remove .texture and put .dds and open up. Did I save it wrong? One moment, I close that. Oh, there we go. Now, we have trouble with normal maps in Photoshop. If you open up in GIMP, they work much better. You'll be able to see clearly. But at the moment, I want to create my own normal map anyway. I don't want to use the existing one. So I'll keep this open. And I'll go to Filter, NVIDIA Tools, and then Normal Map Filter. And I'm able to create my own. I'll just enter some settings so that you get the general idea of what happens. That is where the light's going to be reflecting. You'll see a burnt in almost AJ on the forehead. So I'll save that over the normal map. And boom, that'll do. I will then rename them back to texture. Didn't mean to open that. Okay, I'm really unfit. Even breathing gets me. It's terrible. Righto. Texture. Remember, usually you'd want all 7, but again, I am just saving time. I'll cut those off, and I will delete those, and just have the Alienware DF and the Alienware NM. Again, I'll want to add that so that I know that's where it came from. Sorry, this is where it came from, and that's what it is now. It's all about keeping everything clean and organized so that you don't have any trouble. Now when it comes to installing the mod, I've already run through that, so I will just throw you to check out the first tutorial, but I will now show you what the mod looks like when it's in game. Righto, so I have created the mod, installing both the DF and NM textures. There they are. So I've run it, installed it, and it's all done. So we will now open the game and find out what has changed, if anything. Let's hope something has, because it's a bit of a fruitless effort otherwise. So we jump to masks, find the Alienware, and boom, there we go. As you can see, the AJ tag has appeared on the mask, and you can also see reflection only taking shape on certain areas of the writing itself. That would be the normal mapping coming into effect. My normal mapping was shit and quick, but you know, someone else can do it better, and this was just a rough example of how it works. So there you go. I've been AJ Valentine, and I will catch you next time.